Friday night and the lights are low. Looking out for that place to go.
If you've heard Debbii Dawson's soulful voice, chances are you remember it. She's a rising singer-songwriter who broke out on America's Got Talent, capturing hearts with her unique sound and style. With deep roots in her Indian-American heritage and a family history steeped in music, Debbii's journey is as inspiring as her songs. Her blend of pop, folk, and country, infused with a cinematic vibe, sets her apart in today's music world. But there's much more to Debbii than her songs. From her early life in Minnesota and close-knit family to her notable achievements, personal relationships, and growing net worth, her story is just beginning to unfold. In this post, we'll explore her life behind the scenes, her creative process, and the moments that shaped her career. Early life, family background, and musical roots. Growing up in Hutchinson, Minnesota, Debbii Dawson found herself in a world filled with music and cultural traditions. As a first-generation American with Indian heritage, her early years shaped every note she sings today. Her story isn't only about finding her voice, it's about growing up between cultures, learning from her family's deep musical legacy, and building a foundation that now fuels her creative spark. Childhood and family heritage. Debbii was raised in a close-knit musical family with deep Indian roots. Her parents immigrated to the United States before settling in rural Minnesota, bringing along a lineage marked by musical talent and determination. Her grandfather in India became a self-taught musician, famously drawing piano keys with charcoal on the ground so he could practice, since instruments were hard to find. This inventive spirit inspired generations. Her father continued the tradition, and music was never just a hobby in their household, it was a way of life. They played, composed, and performed together, making music part of everyday family routines. Family gatherings often centered around shared songs, and there was a strong sense of blending cultures, classic Indian melodies mixed with hymns and, at times, hints of country or gospel. Debbii's parents had limited access to Western music in India, only about 30 minutes a week. The songs they chose often leaned toward older country and gospel, which became early staples in Debbii's own listening experience. Even as the family journeyed across the U.S. for performances and events, they held tight to these musical threads that connected them to their heritage. Discovering music and early influences. Debbii's introduction to music wasn't through formal lessons, it was hands-on, personal, and filled with discovery. Much like her grandfather, she embraced learning by ear. At just 3 years old, she started singing along with her family. By the time she was old enough to reach the piano, she was figuring out melodies herself, picking apart chords and harmonies just by listening. Her learning process reflected a self-taught approach. Minimal formal training, most of what Debbii knows, she picked up through listening and experimenting. Learning instruments by ear, she taught herself to play piano and guitar without sheet music, following sounds in her environment. Songwriting from a young age, early on, Debbii began writing melodies and simple songs, inspired by family stories and her own experiences growing up in two cultures. With limited early exposure to Western pop culture, the music Debbii heard was a patchwork of influences: Indian folk, American gospel, vintage country records, and church songs. Performing at church, in school talent shows, and at community gatherings helped her grow in confidence. Her family's support and encouragement made all the difference. They weren't only her first audience but her first collaborators and co-creators, fostering a safe space for her to build her unique artistic voice. By blending the soulful sounds of her roots with the new styles she discovered as she grew, Debbii has created music that feels both nostalgic and fresh. This self-guided journey, rooted in family, tradition, and quiet curiosity, is what gives her sound its authenticity and heart. Career journey and artistic breakthroughs. Debbii Dawson's path from a small-town upbringing to the national spotlight is inspiring, but what's even more fascinating is how she's defined her identity in music after her big break. These moments, marked by heartfelt performances and a dedication to doing things her own way, have shaped the artist fans see today. Let's take a closer look at the major turning points, her unforgettable time on America's Got Talent, how she found her unique sound, and the important milestones that have guided her journey so far. America's Got Talent and mainstream introduction. Debbii's career leapt forward in 2022 when she stepped onto the stage of America's Got Talent, guitar in hand and nerves on display. With her gentle vocals and a fresh, slowed-down take on ABBA's Dancing Queen, she didn't just compete, she gave the song a life of its own. The judges and nationwide audience were speechless, praising her musicality and vulnerability. National attention, her performance became one of the most talked about moments of season 17, instantly increasing her visibility. Signature style, audiences took notice of her cinematic pop-folk sound, a breath of fresh air compared to other acts. Platform to grow, even though her AGT journey ended in the wildcard vote, it opened doors. She grew her fanbase overnight and set the stage for her next steps. America's Got Talent became the push she needed, helping Debbie connect with people who saw themselves in her story and music. This exposure powered her move from aspiring local musician to a national indie artist with serious potential, defining her sound and artistic philosophy. After AGT, Debbie stayed true to her roots, choosing to dig deep and create music that's as honest as it is artful. Her style is a cinematic blend of pop, folk, and country, textured with echoes and subtle nods to the artists who shaped her: Stevie Nicks, ABBA, Harry Styles, and Queen, just to name a few. Slow, immersive sound, each track feels like a short film, using layers of vocals and instruments to set a mood that's both dreamy and reflective. Emotional storytelling, she writes from real experiences, often exploring topics like isolation, childhood memories, and the push-pull between tradition and forging a new path. Raw and authentic, Debbie values the spirit of a song more than technical polish. She prefers to capture genuine emotion, even leaving in imperfections that reveal her truth. Her songwriting is personal and improvisational, it's almost like reading a diary entry set to music. She aims to let others feel less alone, using her own vulnerability to spark connection. This devotion to authenticity makes each Debbie Dawson release feel like a glimpse into her world, intimate, beautiful, and deeply human. Key career milestones and live performances. Debbie didn't slow down after her TV debut. Instead, she dove into making the music she'd always wanted. These years have been full of important moments. Major highlights include: debut EPs, Learning and How to Be Human established her as a rising indie artist. Songs like The Great Magician and Happy World gained critical praise for their emotion and style. Streaming success, her tracks made it onto Spotify's Fresh Finds Pop Best of 2023, showing how quickly she's connecting with new listeners. Touring and collaboration. In 2024, Debbie hit the road as a featured guest on Orville Peck's tour, sharing her music with new audiences and growing more confident on stage. She also joined Role Models 2025 No Place Like Tour in the US, further cementing her role as a live performer to watch. She's also signed with leading labels and publishers, like RCA Records, Warner Chappell Music, and Unsub Records. These partnerships give her the power to reach a wider audience and stay in charge of her vision. As she continues to perform and collaborate, Debbie Dawson is making it clear, she's not in a hurry to fit in. Instead, she's proving that honesty, hard work, and a unique voice are the best ways to stand out. Personal life, lifestyle, and relationships. Debbie Dawson's life outside the studio is a mix of authentic self-expression and intentional privacy. She shares select moments with fans yet keeps certain aspects close to her heart. This balance shapes her daily routine, online presence, and relationships, giving a glimpse into the real person behind the music. Balancing privacy and public persona. Debbie is active on Instagram and Facebook, sharing snippets of her music, behind-the-scenes moments from the road, and heartfelt reflections. She often posts personal insights, songwriting updates, and photos from her tours. However, she draws a clear line between public and private life. There's real power in how she communicates online. Genuine voice, her posts feel unfiltered, with honest thoughts on career highs and personal struggles. She never tries to be someone she isn't. Family and roots. Debbie highlights her family's influence, cultural heritage, and the role music plays in her daily life. Fans see family gatherings and shout-outs to her parents. Boundaries. While she talks about the ups and downs of growing as an artist, she purposefully keeps deeper details, like close friendships or romantic interests, off social media. She values a lifestyle grounded in mindfulness. You'll find her discussing personal growth, mental health, and how she creates balance. She's frank about both the joys and challenges, helping fans feel less alone by showing her own ups and downs. Her day-to-day life mixes creative work with real self-care. Music, journaling, and quiet moments fuel her songwriting. Time spent with family or out in nature remains important, serving as both inspiration and renewal for her. Relationship status and rumors. Curious about Debbie Dawson's love life? That's a topic she addresses carefully and with intention. As of now, there's no public or verified information tying Debbie to a current boyfriend or partner. No confirmed relationship. Debbie has not posted any official updates about being in a relationship. Her social media is focused on music, family, and creative growth. Avoiding rumors. While fans and followers sometimes speculate, there's no solid evidence or statements about her dating anyone in 2025. Past mentions, even lighthearted posts, are music-related, not personal disclosures. She's made it clear, some experiences stay private. Debbie's choice to keep her romantic life out of the spotlight reflects a broader value, focusing on what matters most and not letting outside attention shape her path. For now, the only partnerships she highlights are musical ones, collaborating with other artists and touring as part of her creative community. Until Debbie shares otherwise, fans can enjoy her music and respect her wish for privacy on matters of the heart. Achievements and net worth. Debbie Dawson's career has blossomed quickly since her national debut. She's caught attention from both industry insiders and fans, stacking up a list of achievements and earning significant praise. As her star rises, it's also led to new opportunities, and her earnings reflect that growth. Here's a closer look at her standout recognition and where she stands financially as of 2025. Notable recognition and awards. Debbie Dawson is frequently celebrated for her unique sound and heartfelt songwriting. While she has yet to secure major mainstream music awards, her trajectory is marked by a string of critical and industry nods that reflect her impact on the indie pop scene. Here's what stands out. America's Got Talent breakout. Her audition on America's Got Talent in 2022 placed her in the national spotlight. Her rendition of Dancing Queen drew strong praise from both the judges and viewers, raising her profile in a single night. Critical acclaim for singles and EPs. Reviewers have consistently rated her music highly. Pop Filter scored her single Happy World 8 out of 10, highlighting her growth and a captivating blend of style. Her debut EP Learning and follow-up How to Be Human both earned recognition on streaming platforms. She was featured on Spotify's Fresh Finds Pop Best of 2023, a sign her sound has staying power. Major label support. Debbie's artistic efforts didn't go unnoticed by the industry. She has signed releases through top labels like RCA Records, Chappell Music, and Unsub Records, giving her world-class promotional muscle and connections for future projects. Live performance highlights. She's built her reputation through live shows, sharing stages with big names like Orville Peck and Role Model. Each tour has earned her new fans and strong press mention for her authentic delivery. Positive media coverage. Multiple entertainment outlets have praised her for her musical vision and indie spirit. Articles and interviews often mention her ability to blend genres and her willingness to push boundaries. In summary, Debbie Dawson is establishing herself as a respected songwriter and performer, known for raw, cinematic music and honest storytelling. While major award wins may follow in years to come, the buzz and credibility she's building now set her apart as an artist to watch. Net worth and financial overview. With rising fame comes real financial rewards. For 2025, Debbie Dawson's estimated net worth is in the $400,000 to $750,000 range. This estimate factors in her active gigs, streaming revenues, and new brand partnerships, making it a reflection of her fast-growing role in the industry. Key income streams include touring and live shows. Touring is a major part of Debbie's income. As a supporting act for artists like Orville Peck and Role Model, she plays to sold-out crowds and earns from merchandise and ticket splits. Demand for her live shows is climbing, suggesting touring will keep driving her income higher. Streaming royalties. With Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube plays increasing, Debbie sees steady monthly payouts from her original music. Tracks featured on top playlists, like Fresh Finds Pop, bring a spike in streams and related earnings. EP and single sales. Revenue comes from direct digital sales and limited vinyl or merchandise offers tied to her releases. Her 2 EPs and several singles are available across leading platforms. Brand collaborations and partnerships. As her profile grows, Debbie is attracting small endorsements and collaborations with lifestyle or boutique brands. These early deals give extra, reliable income streams and more visibility. Publishing and licensing. With publishing deals through Chappell Music, Debbie collects income when her songs are covered, streamed, or possibly placed in TV and film projects. At a glance. 2025 net worth estimate, $400,000, $750,000. Primary earnings, touring, streaming, publishing, and brand deals. Labels/publishers, RCA Records, Unsub Records, Chappell Music. While these numbers are still modest compared to mainstream pop stars, they represent a fast climb from rising indie act to a serious artist with long-term staying power. As Debbie continues to tour, release new music, and connect with audiences, her financial outlook looks even brighter for the near future. Debbie Dawson's story is about staying true to her roots while creating something all her own. She draws strength from her tight-knit family, blending old traditions with her bold approach to songwriting and performance. Her music shows what's possible when artists let their stories lead the way, not current trends. Debbie's steady growth as an artist, paired with her mindful way of living, hints at more exciting chapters ahead. As her career grows, she's keeping her values at the center: honesty, connection, and care for both music and community. Everyone watching Debbie now is seeing the early stages of a career that could set new standards for genre-bending artists. Keep an eye on her next releases, and join the conversation, share your thoughts, support her work, and be part of the journey as she continues to inspire. Thank you for reading.